Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Château de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory.
Okay, I'm still learning, but I think I have a future as a piano tuner. Listen to this. That's untuned. That's untuned. This is tuned. Not much better. The tone's better too. Now I'll put some flats in. The flats haven't been tuned. See if you can tell the difference. Height. Now, of course, it is a few hearts out. There's the untuned one. Here's the tuned one. You too can tune the piano. You guys watching a little Olympic basketball. And can you hear Leslie in the background? Piano sounding great. Got it all tuned up. And she's playing some of her sheet music that she grew up with. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Not sure to cheer for here. We got Canada and France. Well, you got to cheer for your country of birth, so it's going to be Canada right now. But France got the upper edge. I'm out with this lovely lady. We are celebrating our 34th anniversary. Go us. Made it past a difficult year, really. It's in a lot of ways been a difficult year, a very successful year, but also a year marked by my mistakes, and we'll talk about that later.
Life is just
not terrible ones,
in a good way.
Yeah, right.
We didn't want to be bored.
No, true.
We're not bored.
So we're out for a lovely lunch. Leslie is heading back to the United States very quickly to get ready for our daughter's wedding. I'll be following her a couple weeks later, and it's going to be a great time, but also lots of work for her. Really, we have two big things left this year. Amy's wedding, and also our fall session for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, so that's going to be some. Looking forward to it. So, topic of conversation. A couple topics of conversation. One of them is something you've always wanted to do at the Chateau.
The topic of conversation is 2025.
Yeah.
So, as always, you're never really in the moment of the year. You're always thinking ahead and looking ahead. And
we've already got 20 or so students signed up. And it's, again, 13 months till some of these start.
We just opened applications.
I know.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And there's been something that we talked about when we first bought the Chateau, and that would be to have like a marriage retreat for maybe 5 days, where people could come and they could do Paris ahead of time or something like that, and then come out to the Chateau, and we'd have some great speakers and fun events and all that kind of stuff, and then they can always make it a holiday, right? And then spend a little time somewhere else after. So we were talking about that and how that may look for the future. Yeah,
it's an idea that we've had a lot of traction on. We had mentioned it early on when we bought the Chateau. We said, wouldn't it be fun to do a marriage building week at the Chateau? And I think we had 175 comments from people saying they were interested right off the bat. That was a couple of years ago, but it is something that maybe we'd take. How many people would we take?
Oh, I haven't even got there yet.
Maybe, probably we only have about 10 rooms, so it'd be maybe 8 or 9 couples, and then we'd bring a speaker in from the US or from Canada. We know some really good friends that are really good speakers, couples on the topic of marriage. We did this a couple times when we were younger.
So right before we gave birth to our first child, we did a marriage retreat and it was one of those weekend to remember. I think it
maybe
was,
Focus on the Family or something.
Something
yeah,
like that.
I don't know.
And it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
And I love the topic of marriage and marriage building and all that kind of stuff. I always think that's a foundation for society, honestly, and our children
and marriages.
Yeah. And so I would love to see something like that happen.
Probably be 1 or 2 sessions a day, maybe one in the morning. A lot of times what they'll do is the speaker will talk about a topic relevant to marriage, and then they'll sometimes give you homework.
Well, it's like an assignment for the rest of the day.
But it's a super fun assignment.
Well, of course, because you're talking about yourself.
Yeah, like it'll say, what, you know, I don't know, what can you remember examples? Like,
oh boy, I don't know.
It's like, how do you communicate with this? And
it could be communication, it could be conflict resolution, it could be about finances,
or children, or there's a lot of topics that come up. But the gist of it is you end up talking about yourself and to each other, and there's good conversation prompts. So sometimes in marriage you kind of just get on autopilot, and you don't,
well,
but then it makes you sit back and take a look at how things are going, and it is really good for your marriage. So we may do that. I'm pretty excited about it.
We'll see.
We also thought, like, the idea of working on your marriage in a fairy tale castle in France just kind of sounds fun, doesn't it?
Better than that.
None of us have the perfect marriage, but we can all work on it. So what you could do is you have maybe 1 or 2 sessions a day where you talk about marriage, and you go off and you do your assignment. And then I think what we would do is build into the cost eating out, because there's some great restaurants in France. You want to try, and a lot of times €15 for a great lunch somewhere, and kind of send everybody off to kind of have dates sometimes, and then we'd come back, maybe have dinner together at the Château. Nice relaxed schedule, maybe out trips. I don't know, every day, maybe every other day. Maybe that would be in combination with eating out, because there's beautiful Château in the area.
But then they could go do it for the afternoon.
But we don't just want it to be like a tour. We don't want to just direct a tour. We want this to be something where you're working on yourself, and it helps you, and it helps your marriage.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fun. We might do it in 2025. Stay tuned for details. For example, our appetizer, this lunch we're having right now, you can get the lunch, I think, as cheap as €21. And this is the appetizer that just came out for both of us. Don't know what it is. It looks great. Comes with bread. This particular lunch includes wine and coffee and appetizer and main course and dessert. I think that's the $28 option, but it's pretty reasonable for an incredible meal. This is a good looking lunch, eh? Look at this. I got the beef. Boy, that's great. And then Leslie's got the fish right now. We just order one of each, and then each eat half. But I mean, I'm definitely happy with either, but the beef is not going to be an insult, that's for sure. Upon gourmandise indeed. Looks good. A little bit of ice cream, a little fresh mint. Nectarine.
Very nice.
Yeah, it looks great. No option today on the dessert, so we both got the same thing. I love the French formula. The menu du jour.
She's very good.
It's always good, and you try things that you've not tried before. Et voila. What he left. Pronunciation?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Wait, he smiled. He didn't laugh.
Cafe compris, coffee included. Well, this is a fun summer project. You always want to have airflow through the Château, and our problem is if we leave windows open at night, we get bats or birds. And so what I'm going to do is we've got these windows on the corner, hi everybody, that are they're really well placed, and they're not that big. In fact, I'm measuring 49 millimeters by 169, so just under 2 feet by, oh man, I don't know, 5 feet. And I think I'm going to try to build screens, two of them, one for this side of the house and one for the morning room, and then that will bring air through the whole house. It's like our house is a little bit like a U, and so this is one corner of the U and this is the other corner, and it should work good. Well, the old wood shop's a little bit messy. I could do some work to clean this up. Also, it's midday, but we have a bit of a friend in here with us. Just one bat. I don't know why he's in here, but I'm gonna keep working. Sorry, buddy. All right, we trimmed up some sticks, made them real small because we want them to fit in there. And guys, made a prototype. It fits. It's not pretty, but it's gonna sit in there, and it will keep birds and bats out, and that's all we need it to do. Just a seasonal, we'll put one on each side of the house. It'll vent things off, it'll change the temperature significantly. Love it. There she be. Again, this is a 2-hour job, 1 hour per screen. Is it super beautiful? No, but it's fine. it sits in there. And again, I didn't drill anything into it. So how it's gonna work is like this. I'm gonna back this up and then it's gonna sit in that groove, Lord willing. And then, yeah, perfect. Perfect, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a screen. And it's clipped in strong. I mean, if a bird hits it, we'll see what happens, but it won't kill the bird. I mean, it'll be better than how it used to be for the bird when they hit the windows. So it does look kind of clear. No mosquitoes coming through that for sure. Yeah, but the air, oh, I like the air.
Well, we're slowly getting back to normal. You can see the tents going down, all the tables and chairs left this morning, the flower people have left. Now our banister's looking much less full and beautiful.
But we're just walking around after the wedding. It's Monday, the last vehicles and stuff have gone. Man, they did a nice job cleaning this. We told them when they came, that they were welcome to use it, but the restaurant was dirty, and so they could use it, but they'd probably need to clean it if they wanted to. And they did a killer job on the bathrooms, on the terrace. Everything's just beautiful. So here we go. Leslie likes it open. We're actually going to move these tables. She thinks we should move them to the back because, and it's true, we don't really use this space at all. So why not have them out of the sun and out of the way? And it makes it a little easier to clean out there. And
then you don't get as many leaves out at this end.
No, we don't get as many leaves either. So that's good. Got the power off now. Save some electricity.
Our little lemon tree check-in. Look how big he's gotten. I should probably trim him soon. But check out all of the lemons coming. Let's see if we can get in here. So there's one. There's a little baby one, see right here, coming. And then there's more. Oh, there's one over here. There's one there. There is, where's the other one? Oh, there's this guy who's looking quite lovely. Let's give him a little turn here. Yeah, there's that little tiny guy. So that's 1, 2, oh, there's another one, 3, 4. And like I say, that guy in there, he's doing really good. And then there's another one starting here. Anyway, it's very exciting. So I'm hoping, I think he's liking this summer heat. And these windows are amazing, so it's been very fun to see. Let's hope we can nurse these guys all the way to fruition.
All right, we're just driving out the back, seeing where everything's going with the wedding, but look at this.
We've got a jungle.
Yeah, this is
crazy.
So this is the way to get back out the front. It's getting pretty tall.
Yeah, it's a thistle factory.
Yeah.
And that tree is getting enveloped by blackberries.
Which one?
The left, the big muppet tree.
This one?
Yeah. On the other side, it was full of blackberries. Sheesh.
The house looks so good when the sun's out. Like it's a little whiter than normal. Don't you think?
Look at this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Yikes. Yeah, this looks great. We need to mow.
No, I don't need to mow. I just mowed.
Not you.
I literally need just mowed.
Back there needs mowed.
Yeah. I am gonna get out and spray again. Amazing how quickly that happens. Still looks way better. It's remarkable how nice it feels to be able to lock the gates. I've really come around to that idea in France where you just have the privacy. You know no one's gonna be looking in your window or walking across the lot. It's something about having a chateau. I'm not sure. It's like, it's a bigger area and I don't know if you're just being selfish or what, but it's just, it's uncomfortable to have people in your space. Maybe it's a extrovert introvert thing. I'm not sure what's going on, but in any case, I'm really enjoying that this week, having just a little bit of space. You can work where you want to. You don't need to worry about what you look like or who you're gonna run into or what's gonna happen. It's a good feeling. I know there was a couple comments last week that were maybe giving me a little bit of sass for complaining about how much time folks were working on stuff. I hear that. On the other hand, I don't know, if I was gonna throw it back, I'd be like, man, I don't know if you had people in your house for 100 days, like it's a thing. Like it's great to have company and it's nice to have folks over, but it does take energy. No way around it. This is coming good, eh? See, we're clearing this forest out. Mr. Bingley hearing a rare siren at the chateau. I'm getting the work boots on. While Leslie's here, we're gonna get her advice on which to cut trees. We're gonna go out to the stable forest. The stable gate forest, I'm gonna call it. Or the walnut tree forest.
Here we go. Here she goes. Nice. One last sucker to get big.
Okay, Mr. Bingley and I are out at the stables and we're at what we sometimes call the rhododendron forest or the walnut tree forest. The walnut tree is that guy right there. By the way, it's kind of fun to have a walnut tree. And the rhododendrons are over here. Now, if you can see just for scale, the chateau is just through there. We're starting to be able to see it. We have cleared out a tremendous amount of brush and I'm gonna get the chainsaw going. All these little kind of scrub bushes we're gonna shorten to so that they can turn into like little bushes inside the forest. But the scrub had grown kind of all the way around the outside. Now you can see we've cleared some of it, but I'm gonna go and clear some more and we'll put it on a time lapse just for fun. See what I'm talking about? Look at all those, I've cut a bunch of them out already, but look at all those suckers that are growing off that tree. Big, huge tree, all kinds of suckers. And again, there, the vines were climbing up that one, so we're clearing that guy out. And then if you come over to the left, you can see just the little tiny scrub that just kind of chokes everything off. Look at that one. So we're gonna clean these all up and let them grow. A lot of people in the last, well, actually the last few years, but certainly the last couple of weeks, have talked about like my wearing sandals or not wearing enough protection, like helmet or gloves or longer pants or things like that. And it's, you know, it's certainly well-meaning and I appreciate it. And you want to be, obviously you want to be careful and sensitive. Again, context is a thing. Like I've had people say, you shouldn't go up on ladders so much. And I'm kind of like, you can't buy a chateau like this and not go up on ladders. There's just no way, because there's a lot of things that need to happen up high, unless you're going to hire some every time there's something with a ladder, which I guess you could do if you had a ton of money. There's nothing safe about this. There's nothing safe about it. And we want to make good decisions. You know, we want to make good, safe decisions. But again, if you're working, you know, sometimes you're working morning, day, and night. And so for me, I'm not willing to wear work boots 12 hours a day, every day of my life. I'm not interested in that. Would I be safer? Yeah. Could I still get hurt wearing work boots? Yeah. There's no way to guarantee your safety in life. You can't insure it. And so when we're doing the most dangerous tasks, I'll try to, you know, make sure and get the gloves on and the closed toe shoes. But there's going to be times where you just have to run something, and you have so many things you have to do in the day. I can't, if I have a 5-minute job, I can't take 15 minutes to run back to the chateau and change all my clothes for the 5-minute job and go back. You can't run an organization like this with that kind of efficiency. You have to keep moving, you have to keep working. So again, context is king, and that might not make sense, but there it is. What a difference, eh, guys? Look at that. Wow, that is clean. That is going to be great. Now that's the after. The before looked something like this. So now we'll start on this area next. It's really quite the difference. I could not help myself. I got tuning and it was so much fun. I did the whole piano last night and it sounds so much better. Pretty good. And I went back today again, second day, to see if any notes had slipped, a couple had. And so I gave those a tune up again. Now, some of you have expressed interest. Our good friend Ann Powell, for one, said she enjoyed this. So I thought, well, you know what, let's recreate the tuning of a G here. Now, so these notes are gonna sound okay. And then we're gonna get to this one. And you can hear that one's out. Now, real talk, I brought it out substantially just to exaggerate it. So what you do, again, this is pretty fun. You mute. Now guys do it with felt, but I don't have felt that works very good yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna isolate so there's just one note. And then I'm gonna have to put this camera, I can't do two hands at once. Well, maybe I can with the foot pedal. Here we go. Okay, so you can hear that's out. Usually I would be using the app, the tuning app, and that tells you exactly what it is, but we can do it by ear too. That sounds pretty good, right? And then apparently you hit it hard once to set it. And then what we're gonna do is take out the other ones here and see if we can see how they sound. So, that sounds pretty good. We'll take this one out. Let's pretend it was out a little bit here. Let's pretend it's out a bit. So, actually that's not bad. We'll pretend it's out. Now, there we go. Now we're gonna fix it. Okay, that's just by ear. No, that's just by ear. And that sounds pretty good. I'll check it out with the app to see how I did. As is the case, it's time to load some new stuff from the brocante into the house. Lots of ways to get your exercise here. It's been a good morning. Here we are in our local Beaujais bricolage, and we're gonna build some more screens. We're gonna build some more screens pour la fenêtre, because it's so wonderful to have that cool air coming in all night and no bats or birds or even insects. Now, this is pretty spendy, this insect stuff, so I got some cheaper stuff, and that'll at least keep the bats and birds out, so that'll be kind of our emergency screens. It's hot outside, so we're gonna make more screens. Now, I got these boards from Bricolage, and they're about $5 a board, and I'm cutting them into 3. It's gonna be really small little pieces of wood. I'm not gonna route them. This is kind of a rough, but I will sand them. And that means, you know, $5 for 3. So you're looking at about $1.60-ish, $1.80 probably per upright. That's not terrible. So we'll cut those to fit now and then get going. Safety first. Now there are some safety things that are important, and eyewear when you're using saws is super important. Saws and also grinding stuff, because that little stuff flies and that can get in your eye really bad. So this is a yeah, you gotta have this one. All right, 208 marked. Get it on the laser line, and here we go. All right, we got a perfect fit on the screen. I don't have the screen in there yet, but it's the wood's exactly the right spot. Now, I think just to make this even a little prettier, I think we're gonna put in some mullions. Partly to make it prettier, we'll match those two so that you can't quite tell. It's a bit of an eyesore right now when it's open. You're like, oh, that's different. Nice to be equal. But also because that screen's expensive, and so I don't want to waste it. So if I cut smaller pieces and use the mullions, probably get a few more screens out of that roll. It's just a little bit of wood and some screen and some staple guns, but it'll keep the bugs out and it'll keep us cool at night. There's a better look at it, eh? I'll back up so you can get the whole. Yeah, that'll do. Hey everybody, it's evening time here in France, and time for a little front yard conversation. It was really interesting reading the comments to the last video, and honestly the comments the last couple of videos. Now I think when people get famous, like really famous, they don't read the comments, and that's probably smart, because if you've ever read comment sections, they can be pretty brutal sometimes. But you know, obviously we're a small channel, and we don't, you know, so we do read our comments, and we enjoy hearing what people have to say. Lots of people really encouraging. Every once in a while we'll address comments. A lot of people will say that's a bad idea. So sometimes we do, because context really helps and we want people to understand us. Sometimes the issue that's being commented on is important and we want to hit it. And sometimes just really interesting comment or question. Now, one of the reasons why I think it's good to read the comments and to hear feedback is because none of us are perfect. We all have blind spots and we all make mistakes. For example, in the first year, I think we had a friend write and say, hey, I don't know if you realize this, Rob, but you cut Leslie off. Like, you interrupt her all the time, and it's very disrespectful. And I don't know if you mean to do that, but you are doing that. And so I was listening to that, and I was kind of like, you know, it's true. I have a problem with interrupting, and I don't want to be that. Clearly, I don't want to disrespect Leslie. And so I started working on that. I'm doing a little better now, but it's still my nature to interrupt. But so it's important to see those blind spots. Sometimes the comments are less helpful. For example, people are kind of like, early on, people were always like, oh, you got mold, why don't you just heat the Chateau? You should heat the Chateau. And I'm kind of like, until you've been here and you see how, you know, again, 16-foot floor there and a 9-foot floor there and 12 and 12 and then another floor on that, you know, 20,000 square feet of perhaps averaging, I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 feet of height. That's a lot of cubic meters to heat. And again, 212 windows, no insulation. We had friends, I think I mentioned in one of the videos, we have friends that tried to run the heat and they went away for a month and it came back and the bill was like 8,000 or 9,000 euro. So, you know, sometimes you just can't do that. And if you don't understand the context, you know, a person might try to make North American comments about houses that just don't work here. And so, you know, it is what it is. Now, I want to hit a couple from last week. Some folks, let's see which one we're going to do first. Some folks were kind of calling us out for saying, hey, if you didn't want to do the wedding, like if the wedding was hard, if all the prep was hard and the people were here so long, why did you say yes, kind of thing? And I think one person even said, you know, it seemed kind of dishonest because the whole time you were kind of complaining about how much work it was. And then at the end, you said that you enjoyed it when clearly you didn't. And I'm kind of like, no, what we're doing is being honest. It's possible to really like something, but also think it was a lot of work, right? That's entirely possible. And that's kind of what it was. I mean, that's a great young couple. They didn't do anything wrong. You know, they're having a good wedding and they put a lot of good work into it. We didn't really understand what a French wedding entailed. And so it was a lot more than we realized. And so is it the last time we'll do a wedding? Probably, because it was a lot of work. But did we enjoy it? Yeah, we really did. You know, wonderful people. We met some people. We understand France better. In some senses, I'm really glad we did it, although it was not an easy week. So, you know, perhaps you want a simple world that's not nuanced like that, but something can at the same time be difficult and also good. And that's what the case was. Had another really interesting comment. I like this comment a little better, to be honest. And they were kind of pointing out, they kind of made an allusion to the Bible, and they said something like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And I 100% got that. That's an allusion to Jesus talking about, you know, rich people or hypocritical people who will do like a big act of kindness and then kind of publicize what they did, and they're getting all their reward. And I think the direct quote is, Jesus says something like, they have their reward in full because they've been doing their acts of righteousness in front of people to get applause. Do I believe that verse? 100% I believe that verse. Do I believe that that verse is relevant to what we're doing? It is. It is relevant because we've got a YouTube channel talking about what we're doing. And I'm pretty open about the fact that we don't get paid and that we're donating this chateau. And now partly I do that because I don't want to get in trouble with the IRS, and I want the truth to be out there just so that there's no misconception. The other reason we do the channel, honestly, though, is it kind of gets the word out. Like, we've had students come because some of you guys watch, and we're really thankful for that. We've had folks help us out with materials, and so you're kind of left with a choice. It's kind of like, well, you could do this in obscurity, but then we need students for this to work, and so you kind of have to get it out there, and we need help. So, you know, it really helps us to talk about stuff. But Jesus's words are true. You know, if you try to promote all your acts of kindness in front of people, you will lose your heavenly reward. And so I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't expect us to get any heavenly reward for this, because we have gotten lots and lots and lots of accolades and praise from people here on earth. So I guess what I'm saying is we're not doing this for heavenly rewards. And I 100% believe the words of Jesus. We'll see what God has to say someday, but I think we're doing an okay thing. Anyways, there's some quick thoughts answering some of the comments. Thanks for watching with us, friends. We have a couple more piano songs. If you enjoy that kind of thing, you're welcome to keep listening after. Playing a couple more hymns. Throwback to back in the day. Hope you enjoy it.